What is a football player? He is a wonderful creature. You can criticize him, but you can't discourage him. You can defeat him, but you cannot make him quit. He may not be an All-American, but he is an example of the American way. No one else looks so forward to September or so little to December. He is judged not for his race, not for his social standing, and not for his finances, but by the democratic yardstick of how well he blocks, tackles.
Hello and welcome to Buckeyes 96. I'm Jay Crawford and we are live from the College Football Hall of Fame. We are in South Bend, Indiana, and believe me when I say we are literally surrounded by Ohio State and Notre Dame tradition of this big football game, which, by the way, it's only fitting as we get set for the meeting of two programs that are very well represented in this, the College Football Museum, and believe me when I say they are very well represented. Number 4 Ohio State against number 5 Notre Dame. That will happen tomorrow, and amazingly, this is only the 4th meeting ever between these two powerhouse programs, and if the first 3 are any indication, we are in for a barn burner when they take the field tomorrow. It was 1 year ago when this rivalry was renewed after dropping close games of 35 and 36. Last year, the Buckeyes finally put it all together. Ohio State used 3 Notre Dame turnovers in the second half to turn the game around, and the Buckeyes posted a 45-26 win, propelling them to an 11-0 start. This year, Ohio State has jumped down opponents very early, burying Rice and Pitt by a combined score of 142-7. Notre Dame is also undefeated this year. They come in at 3-0, and that sets up a top 5 matchup that has attracted the undivided attention of the college football world.
I've heard a lot about Touchdown Jesus. You know, I really want to see what that looks like, and I know the atmosphere is just going to be great. I think this is one of the situations that's great for college football, and it's great for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
It's a big game coming up, so, I mean, of course, everybody's going to have their butterflies. Even the seniors probably have butterflies.
Notre Dame has its great aura and everything about it, you know, that so much tradition is there. But then again, you know, it's just Notre Dame. It's just a football team that's in our way.
All right, now Notre Dame may be coming off a huge win at then number 6 Texas last Saturday, but this is the one that's been circled on their calendars. That 19-point loss to the Bucs at the shoe last year still stings like a right hook, and the national magnitude of this game has the Irish eyes firmly focused.
You know, he said this game has national championship implications in it, and you know, both for Ohio State and ourselves.
Oh, to me, it's the biggest game. You know, it's bigger than the Texas game. You know, each time we win, the games get bigger. You know, and hopefully this game right here, it'll go down in the history books, but go down in the Notre Dame history books as a positive one and as a win.
It's definitely a big game. It's going to have a lot of implications on the national championship race. But in, you know, another aspect, it's just going to be a big game because it's our next opponent.
All right, now, just another game for Ohio State as well, because remember, the real season begins next week with Penn State. That's when they play the Nittany Lions. Joining me now, my normal partner on Wall-to-Wall Sports, Kirk Hebstreit. Kirk here as part of ESPN's College Game Day coverage. And Kirk, when you look at this football game, it's almost impossible to pick a winner.
Hey, it's tough because you really don't know, with Ohio State not playing anybody, it's hard to really pinpoint if Ohio State is ready to take on a team like Notre Dame. Playing in a hostile environment, a lot of question marks for the Ohio State Buckeyes as far as how will they respond in a football game like this. But you have to remember there is some experience there. You have a guy like Orlando Pace. You have a very good passing game to rely on. So there is some things, some positives to work on there, but there is the question mark.
Notre Dame having to struggle in a couple of games. Ohio State is coasting. Is that going to be the Fighting Irish's advantage?
Definitely.
Say third, fourth quarter?
Definitely. There's a mindset right now, and you can feel, just being in South Bend over the last 24 hours, you can feel that Notre Dame will have an advantage from a mindset because of the fact that, hey, they've been tested. Ohio State is not. Ohio State is a favorite in their backyard. Everything is playing into the hands of Lou Holtz, and trust me, he will take advantage of that if he can.
You got a prediction for us? Ohio State, Notre Dame, what do you like?
I think Ohio State wins this football game because of the fact they have great athletes, superior athletes to Notre Dame's. Notre Dame is, they don't have a Derek Mays, they don't have a Timmy Brown on the outside. Ohio State will be afforded the luxury of manning up on the outside, putting their safeties up to stop the run. And on the other side, they have got to be able to mix up the play-action passes with the running game. they do that, they can win this game.
All right, Kirk, thanks a lot for stopping by. We'll hear from you at the end of the show as well.
Sounds good.
We're just getting warmed up on Buckeyes 96. Coming up, it is crunch time against Notre Dame. Will it be Stanley Jackson or will it be Joe Germain? We'll tell you when we come right back.
Tonight's OSU football special is brought to you by America West Airlines, Big Bear, Ameritech, Kroger, and by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers.